Menstruation, also called period, is a normal biological process experienced by millions of women around the world each month. A period happens when the uterus sheds blood and tissue from the uterine lining and leaves your body through the vagina. Good menstrual health and hygiene practices can prevent infections, reduce odor, and help you stay comfortable during your period. You can choose many types of menstrual products to absorb or collect blood during your period, including sanitary pads, tampons, menstrual cups, menstrual discs, and period underwear. Hi guys, thank you so much for stopping by again today. If it is your first time stopping by, hello, my name is Stacy. If you're a returning subby, oh my god, I can't thank you guys enough. You have been the reason as to I've been keeping going, and for this particular video I wanted to just show you my period hygiene, what I do when I'm on my period. It's usually a very lazy time for most women, and period just comes with a lot of things. Sometimes you have these mood swings that you do not understand where they come from. Sometimes you're just very angry or very happy, and there are certain period hacks that we can maintain, including just staying very fresh and clean during this time to avoid infections, to avoid bacteria buildup down there. So if this is something you'd be interested in, probably it's your first time starting your period, or you've been at it for some time and you've been wondering sometimes your Miss V down there is smelling some type of way, I'm here to help you out with some period hygiene hacks that do work for me and could certainly also work for you. One thing you want to ensure during your period is that you do have regular showers in between. This could be 2 or 3 times a day, just to ensure that you're staying fresh and clean throughout your period. You also want to ensure that you're regularly changing your pads or tampons, depending on whatever you're using, just so that you avoid bacteria buildup down there. Imagine just having some tight clothing down there and you're in a pad and your panty is tight there and there's blood oozing out from your vajayjay. You know, there's a lot of bacteria that could build up down there. So to avoid this, you also want to ensure that you're constantly changing your sanitary towels. Even if your flow is not as heavy, you have to ensure that you change your sanitary towels after every 2 to 3 hours. Ensure that you wash your hands before and after using the restroom or before using a menstrual product. That includes you ensuring that your hands are clean before using your tampon or just before having your pad on the panty. Always ensure that you discard used disposable menstrual products properly. Wrap them with toilet paper, a tissue, or a material, then toss in a trash bin. Do not, I repeat, do not flush menstrual products down the toilet. When it comes to menstrual cups, ensure that you clean your cups every day after use. Sanitize your menstrual cups after your periods, and also ensure that you rinse them thoroughly and then place them in boiling water for 1 or 2 minutes. Period underwear are mostly reusable. Try and wear lightweight, breathable panties. Ensure that you're going in with cotton underwear, as tight fabrics can trap moisture and heat, allowing germs to thrive. Also, keep your genital area clean. Wash the outside of your vagina, that's the vulva, and bottom every day. When you go to the bathroom, ensure you wipe from front towards the back, not the other way around. Wiping from your back to your front can cause buildup of bacteria, which can in turn result to infections. So you want to ensure that every time you are on your periods, or just regularly, even if you're not on your periods, always try to wipe from front to back. The vagina is a self-cleaning organ, so you do not have to insert any product in your vagina. You can wash your vulva with products that you find amazing to you, but just ensure that there are no products going inside of your lady down there. It's a natural cleaning, self-cleaning organ, and you do not have to use any chemicals to wash it, as this will change the natural pH balance of your vagina and can be harmful, which may result in a yeast infection or bacterial vaginosis. Use unscented toilet paper, tampons, or pads. Scented products can irritate the skin and impact your natural pH balance. This is something we really want to avoid. You can use your products, say if you're someone who loves using body wash, body gels, shower gels, and all of that, like I do. I really love this Dove product. But you see, I'm gonna use it just on my body because I want to stay fresh, I want to stay healthy, I want to smell nice. But I'm not gonna use it on the lady down there. I'll just probably use a bit to clean the vulva area, the external area, but nothing on the inside. Your vagina doesn't have to smell like strawberries, my darlings. Your vagina has a natural smell, and you want to ensure that you're just maintaining its natural smell. Anyway, so as you've seen, I've gone in with my Dove body wash, which is purely pampering, and the flavor I like is the sheer butter and warm vanilla body wash. This leaves you feeling so refreshed. Oh my god, the smell, the scent has everything. After the shower, it also leaves your skin softer, smoother, and this is just after one shower. Not an ad, but guys, I'm really advocating for this product if you do not have it in your shower routine. After my shower, I usually just go on with my moisturizer, which I use on my face and body, and I also go in with a body splash after I am just done using my moisturizer, and the Lady's Speed stick that I just apply on my armpits. After this, I want to ensure that you are in very comfortable clothing. You can either do your normal tights, or you can just do your pajamas, or just anything that you feel comfortable in, because again, you do not want to feel like you're congesting the lady down there. You don't want to put on some very tight jeans, especially if you're at home. You just want to stay comfortable and very flexible to be able to move around. Another hack that I usually use during my period is just applying this Vaseline on my body after applying the moisturizer, because it leaves my skin very glowy. I feel so good about my skin, how I look. It leaves it very moist and ooh. Guys, I'd already had my DIY face mask, and now I'm just going in with my CeraVe cleanser. I want to ensure that I cleanse my face really well before going in with a moisturizer. The same moisturizer I was using on my body is the same moisturizer I'm gonna use on my face. Moving forward, let's talk slightly about menstrual disorders. We've had friends, family members, colleagues, and just people around us having complications when it comes to periods. There are women who go through their periods successfully without having any complications. Ooh, lucky you, darling. There are others who probably even end up in hospital just because they have worse conditions, and that's what we are going to talk about right now. Probably you're a lady and you do go through some of these conditions, and you've never known that it's time you went and saw a doctor. Probably you have a girlfriend, you're a guy, and you're watching my channel, and sometimes during their menstrual cycle you see them behave in a way that you do not understand. I hope that you're gonna leave this channel very informed and very educated, and that's why I'm just here to just, educate you more on menstrual periods, cramps, and everything around it. So sometimes it gets so bad that someone ends up in hospital with drips and all of that. Darling, one thing I always do during my menstrual cycle is also just to try and always note down what happens during each stage of your menstrual cycle. Is it during ovulation? Is it when you're actually bleeding? What is it that actually happens during that time? How do you feel? How does your discharge look like? Is it sticky? Is it clear? Is it white? Is it yellow? Is it, gray, green, black? Discharges have different colors, and different colors mean different things, including infections and just, your lady down there just telling you they're not okay. So you should also be able to know about the different type of discharges that you have, so that you're able to note it down, and just in case you see something different, something that's quite alarming, you can be able to go and see your gynecologist. So when it comes to menstrual disorders, I digress, sorry about that, but also another reason as to why I usually note how I feel is just so that you know if there's something wrong with your system. You're able to know, assumingly you're on your periods, you're able to tell day 1 and day 2 how your periods usually are month to month. Is it a light bleeding from day 1? Does it go a bit heavy on day 2 and heaviest on day 3? Or how does your bleeding actually look like? You want to note how you feel. Are you moody? Are you happy? So that in case anything is happening that is not normal, then you're able to detect that there's something that's not going on well with your system. It's important that you know the different menstrual disorders and what their signs and symptoms look like. And that's just what I want to take you through. I may not be able to go through each and every menstrual disorder, but the ones I'm able to, I'll definitely list them below. Point of disclaimer, I'm not so good when it comes to these biological or medicinal terms, but I'm gonna try and pronounce them as well as I can. And even if I don't, you might be able to look it up in your dictionary, or say Google, or just YouTube. So the first menstrual disorder I'm going to talk about is dysmenorrhea, which refers to painful cramps during menstruation. We've witnessed women who have very heavy bleeding that comes with very painful cramps. They end up crying, they end up taking a lot of painkillers. Mine is not as bad, but sometimes I usually have, like this particular time when I'm actually talking to you, I'm having a very bad backache, and that's why you saw me just boiling some water and putting it in my hot water bottle, because this is going to help ease the pain in my back. As you're gonna see, I usually just place it on my back and then lie on it. And then besides that, there's also premenstrual syndrome, which actually refers to the physical and psychological symptoms occurring prior to menstruation. We have menorrhagia, which is heavy bleeding, including prolonged menstrual periods or excessive bleeding during a normal length period. There are women who go only 3 to 4 days, an example being me. There are other women who actually go for 5 to 7 days or even 8 days when they are having their menstrual period, and it's pretty normal, pretty abnormal, just depends on the signs and symptoms that you're experiencing when the bleeding is actually occurring. Besides that, there is also the absence of menstruation. I am not a medic and I'm not able to expound on that, but yes, it's a disorder that's accompanied by menstruation. And then there's oligomenorrhea, which refers to infrequent menstrual periods. There's hypomenorrhea, which refers to light periods. Ooh, must be very nice just having light periods. You know, some people have heavy bleeding and cramping, and I can only try to imagine what they usually go through, the amount of pain that comes with it. The people who have infrequent menstrual periods, probably this month they're having their periods, they don't see their periods for the next 2 or 3 months, and it might actually make you feel like you're pregnant, or you might actually think that there's something wrong with you. But yes, that's a menstrual disorder, and you might need to see your gynecologist to just advise further on probably things that you might do or might not do during certain periods of your menstrual cycle. I don't know if it's just me, but somehow during my menstrual cycle, also my appetite gets crazy. Like today, I was just making some potatoes and chicken. The chicken, I prepared it last night, the same meal actually, plus the potatoes. But I woke up feeling very hungry, and I didn't feel like eating bread or eggs or sausages, pancakes, mandazis. I didn't feel like having any of that. So this was just me trying to prep the food again, because I had the potatoes boiled already, so I was just frying them, deep frying them again, and then seasoning with salt, paprika, and black pepper. And then this went in with the chicken. Sometimes I feel like having ice cream. Oh my god, I'm gonna have ice cream actually during the day. I think once the sun is out, because it's a bit chilly. But yes, This tastes heavenly. If you see me do that, just know that this tastes heavenly. So yeah, I usually have very weird cravings sometimes, but I feel like most of the time my cravings are the same. I just wanna be a sweet tooth during my menstrual cycle. Sorry, during my periods. I wanna have chocolates. I want to have ice creams, and it's okay. It's totally okay to feel like that. No one should make you feel like a glutton for wanting to eat much. I usually say that this is the time when if you feel like having anything, just have it, because I mean it's just a craving and it's gonna go away anyway after some time. So eat it all. Eat whatever you feel like eating. All right, so now we seem like we're in a class. But yeah, seems like we're in a class. Anyway, so there's this follicular phase, which is actually the days between day 1 and day 6. This is beginning of menstruation to end of blood flow. As I'd explained earlier, there are some people who have bleeding for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. I don't know what actually changed, because I remember when I was starting my periods, I never used to have any back pain, no cramping, nothing, no pimple, clear face. I mean, it was but then as I grew older, there are times that I just realized that I would start feeling pain a few days to my menstrual period. I would start probably seeing some spots on my face or a pimple or two, which wasn't there. Somehow I was actually glad that that was happening, because at least it's preparing me psychologically, mentally, and physically for the shedding of the blood. But again, at the same time, it just makes my face sometimes look terrible because I have a pimple or two, or it's just some prolonged pain, which I probably sometimes have to take painkillers for just before the periods begin. Initially, when I never used to have all these things, it was nice, but at the same time, horrible. Horrible because I never knew when my period are coming. I would just be seated and boom, blood. So that was crazy, but I'm glad I did get over that, and nowadays I usually get at least some signs and symptoms for my period, so that's a good thing. Then we do have day 7 to 13, which is the time when your endometrium thickens and prepares the egg for implantation. And then day 14 is actually when you're ovulating. That's when ovulation takes place. It's usually somehow like mid during your cycle, so you can always be able to count your safe days and unsafe days. But I also advise you to just go to your gyna, or do a lot of research when it comes to safe and unsafe days, because again, for people who have regular periods, it's quite easy to count. That's like me. But if you have irregular periods, it might be a bit difficult for you to count your safe and unsafe days, and you might end up getting unwanted pregnancy. All right, I really don't like terming it as unwanted pregnancy, because I mean by the time are you I don't know, like, are you expecting a plant to come out, or are you expecting a television? Definitely, if you expect a baby to be the product. But anyway, yes, so you might want to do a lot of research when it comes to safe and unsafe days, especially if you have irregular periods. But if you do have regular periods, it's basically just the 14th day of your menstrual cycle. And then between day 15 and 28, we do have a ruptured follicle, which develops into a corpus luteum, which produces progesterone. Progesterone and estrogen stimulate blanket of blood vessels to prepare for egg implantation, which, if fertilization occurs, the fertilized egg attaches to a blanket of blood vessels that supply nutrients for the developing placenta. Corpus luteum continues to produce estrogen and progesterone. I'm not going to go deep into those hormones, estrogen and progesterone, but you might want to do more research when it comes to that. If fertilization does not occur, corpus luteum deteriorates, estrogen and progesterone levels drop, so you might actually be back to your normal self in a few, because most of these changes you usually experience during your period are caused by these same hormones. And then the blood vessel lining slows off and menstruation begins. Okay, so like when you're between your 15 to 28 days, so probably from like your 25th to 28th day, your period will probably be on the way coming back again. I feel like we are in a class, but it's important we know such things. It's important we educate each other on such things, because again, when we were in primary school, when we were being taught about menstruation, it was made to look like it's a taboo topic. We're just being taught how to thanks to those teachers who'd go out of their way to just visit different schools and teach women and ladies who are just developing into adolescence how to probably use pads, how to store them, how to stay clean and fresh during such periods. But then the thing is, they didn't go in depth when it comes to this. So these are things that we continue learning over time. And if probably you're not a medic, these are things you probably just want to Google and try and understand. It can help you when it comes to your girlfriend, when it comes to your spouse, when it comes to your friend, your family, your mother, your relative, So let's stay educated, let's stay enlightened, and I hope you guys are taking very good care of yourselves. I hope that this video has left you enlightened, it has left you very informed, and once you go back to your daily hustles, or probably you've picked a thing or tool that will help you in your next menstrual cycle, and that's what I am happy about. I love binge watching on things, just random things on YouTube. Like this day I was watching my friend Nicole. Shout out to Nicole. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for stopping by, and bye.